Welcome to Around Town on this hot afternoon here in Concord on the Heights. I'm your host, Dick Patten. It's a pleasure to welcome you back as we're, I guess, getting ready for the Kiwanis Fair and Armed Forces Weekend and Memorial Day, and everybody's getting their plants out to put in the gardens and things, and all that spring brings with it in early summer. So, but I'm very happy to have with me as my guest today, Jack Dunn, the administrator, right?
Business administrator.
Yeah, business administrator for the Union School District of Concord, Concord Public Schools, and glad to have you back here for a while. I haven't seen you for ages.
It's been a while.
I know, and
Thanks
Matt's been even worse, so we gotta get you guys on here more often.
Yeah.
I guess I must have scared the chef away because I haven't seen the food guy since he came on.
Oh, you had the food? Oh,
yes,
John?
That was back, yeah, gosh,
Oh,
a couple of years ago.
yeah.
I think it was. Matt
We have a
brought
new
him
director now, Donna. I
Oh,
should have
really?
brought her with me today. Yeah.
Gee, you booted
Huh?
him out and got
Well,
somebody else, huh?
He had another opportunity, and Donna was looking for an opportunity, so it all was coming together. It was great.
So we have now a more cuisine, gourmetish.
Well, one of our
Food,
head cooks at Renlet is a chef, and he cooks soup daily, and the staff love it. So, yeah, it's interesting. We've made a lot of
Master
changes.
Chef is here.
Well, I wouldn't say master chef. I only say chef. I don't know what it all takes to become a chef, but Joe does a great job.
We'll go on the loudmouth on TV and you can find out fast.
We'll have to have a show with him. Maybe have cooking with Joe, right?
But you know, it's funny because a good homemade soup, you know, especially in the fall and winter, is good.
Mm-hmm.
Tastes much better than like the canned version. But,
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, he makes it fresh every day. They seem to love it. So.
Well, before I forget it,
Yeah.
because your teacher of the year this year did not come the night of the awards. I'm not sure what happened because the night wasn't the best as far as weather goes, but everybody
Sure.
else was there.
Yep.
But Heidi Crumrine is getting the Educator of the Year award. So would you please present that to her?
Absolutely, I will.
Tell her we missed her. Her name's been in the paper.
Yep.
So.
She's had a couple little things on behalf of the Monitor in there as well. So
Good.
Yeah. So good.
But it's can't believe that another school year is coming up very shortly. You know what? Where did time go again?
Oh, it flies. And then when you
know?
have the kids, you see them plop through the ages.
I know.
Next year I have a 6th, a 4th, and a kindergartner.
Oh wow!
Already. So it goes quick.
Time for another.
No. That's it. 3 and out.
Oh boy, I'll tell you, you're lucky though. But
Yeah.
it is. It's and like I told you about the legislature. I mean, we really got hammered with that last bill there about the vouchers and stuff. But I don't know. You know, school has changed so much from what it was when I was there. And, you know, I mean, it's well. Here's a good example. We were delivering dictionaries down to last week or so, Beaver Meadow, Broken Ground. I went down to Abbott Downing. We still got McAuliffe to do. That's scheduled for next week. But I was sitting there talking with the kids before the teachers got them all in there, and I said something about algebra. Now this is 3rd grade, and I couldn't believe what they were saying about algebra. Now, when I was in 3rd grade, we were lucky we were still doing old-fashioned arithmetic, and that was it. We never even thought of algebra until maybe the 8th grade or 9th grade. You know, I could not believe it. A 3rd grader doing algebra?
You shouldn't come across the game that was called algebra.
I don't know.
I hear about that more out of my kids than I hear about the academic side of it.
The teacher was there anyway. She was there, but I thought, my goodness gracious, boy, they really are pushing these kids. You know, I mean, it was all old-fashioned arithmetic right up through until 8th grade when they started to subdivide, and I got stuck in modern math. Then some of them got algebra, but I was so lost. I said, oh, That was in Runlet, of course, the 8th grade was. But I don't know. I mean, are we pushing our kids too fast? I mean, with computers and iPads and all this stuff. I mean, what's...
Well, I don't think it's just kids. It's just adults too. I mean, there's just information overload. I mean, everything is now, 15-second soundbite or a, minute and a half newspaper article. It's a lot.
Now, I went to 3rd grade up to Beaver Meadow, and I'm going to tell you something. I think his name is Jim Pike, the 3rd grade teacher up there. I know it's Mr. Pike, but I can't think if it's Jim or not. That guy is a treasure. He is a treasure. And I mean, he is just so wonderful. I mean, I don't know what he's like as a teacher. He may be a different sort, but he has got such a great, those kids love him. Such an attitude. I mean, they really love him to pieces. And, but I was surprised at the small number there for the 3rd grade. We go over to Broken Ground, and my goodness, it was like 100 and some odd kids there, 50 kids, compared to 49. It's like, wow. I mean, is there a redistricting coming here? Or
no, we're in the process right now of starting a demographic study. Most of that is focused because of the middle school. Throughout the full-day kindergarten discussion has been the pressure that it's going to put on the buildings. The schools, when they were designed, you couldn't build for programs you didn't have, but if it fit within the space, we added room for full-day kindergarten, but you only add so much. You can't overbuild. So part of the discussion has been with the runlet needing to be upgraded or replaced. Do you build a 5 through 8 middle school and take the 5th grade out so that it relieves that pressure? So part of that study will be looking at that. Does that make sense? You get into redistricting, that's a whole other political football. But, making a 5 through 8, and with technology and the way you can design schools today, you can make schools within a school. So we'll have to see. It's a long process. As you may have remembered from the elementary project, that people could argue that was 5 years. People could argue that went back to 1993 when they did the first study. So either way,
I still miss Dame School.
Sure.
I mean, it's still there, half of it, but the half I was in, they knocked it out, but I still miss it. I mean, there's no way to bring back a grade over there for that wing that is not being used.
No, that's
for
the
something
community
else.
center. We still do have Eastman, and there's still capacity in these schools.
Yeah.
Beaver Meadow is about 350 kids this year. That had at one time 660 kids in it.
Oh, wow.
So they want to put an addition on in the 90s shortly after it opened. But we just don't see where that surge is going to come that you're going to see it. I think New Hampshire Public Policy did a study when I served on the Decennial Commission for Retirement. They also showed studies as far as the transition of adults and kids. None of the studies are showing that there's going to be this huge uptick that you had in the 80s and early 90s. So, we'll see. And fewer people are having children older. So I think with the study we saw, the average age for women was 41 in the state. So they get past the child bearing years, and it starts to, you start to see that diminish of those kids. So interesting information. Plus, it's very expensive today too.
Oh yeah,
a lot of challenges.
Oh,
healthcare.
Yeah,
It's the second biggest line item in our budget. 78.5% of the budget is salaries and benefits. So it's tough.
See, I always thought there was kindergarten full time, but I guess it's because it was split.
Yeah, it was an AM and PM session.
Because
Correct.
I remember at Dane I was in kindergarten. It was a half-a-day session.
Yeah.
And Miss Silsby was my kindergarten teacher, but I don't remember going in the afternoon session. I went in the morning.
Yeah.
But I don't know whether they alternated and went in the half, went in the after. I don't remember, but it just seems like now a whole day, boy, kids are good. I mean, I would think they would get tired. I don't know.
And my daughter, well, all my kids, but my daughter will be there next year. She is at the Concord Hospital Learning Center. And part of what we like about that structure is it is a half-day program, and then the rest is all social time. So they play and do that. So it's good. But different parents have different choices and needs, and that's what they'll do. So it's fine. But we'll see. Next year will be the first year.
Yeah. And nobody don't dare cut back on sports because there'll be an outcry. But gee, that's gonna be expensive in your budget.
Yeah, it's an expense. There's opportunity there. But as I said, the biggest one's going to be the salaries and benefits. They're the drivers. Benefits including health and New Hampshire retirement. And New Hampshire retirement is becoming more and more of a challenge.
Wow.
For our staff, fortunately for this coming year, staff will see a 0.3% increase in their health insurance. So they could pay anywhere from $1 to a little over $1 to a little over $12 for the whole year for an increase, which isn't bad.
No.
But we've done a lot of work since April of '09 to try to put in deductible plans, education, and have folks take ownership of those plans. And it's a decent plan, and we think it's worked. So, yeah. But
I don't know. Boy, I'll tell you. It's just, of course, the buses. Are you in need of more buses?
Well, last year with the steam project coming out, we had borrowed $12 million, $9 million to convert the steam to gas, $1 million for buses, $1 million for technology, and now $1 million that's been reprioritized for these roofs. So we bought about I think it was about 10 or 12 buses. So the entire fleet together is less than 10 years, which is good. So that should stave off that expense. And the advantage of buying them when you bond is it's much cheaper when you issue that kind of bond and put it under that than when you do a conventional lease. So that's why we did it.
What about school resource officers? You still got them now?
We have the one at the high school. Yep.
And that's it. No plan to enter one of the middle school.
Not at this time. And we'll see what the federal government does with any grants. That initially came from a Cops in the School grant, I think, many years ago, and then as that went away, it got absorbed into the school district's budgets. But we don't know. We have a security project going on right now at the high school, where we're installing cameras, alarms, key access systems. So that building is over 540,000 square feet. It's a big school.
High school?
Yep. Yeah. And it's got 58 external doors. It's not the way they design them today. So it's been a challenge, but that's what we're in the process of doing, securing that building.
Well, see, of course, they added on that section there after I left there in 70. It was, what, 96 or so, 97 when they added that on?
We just paid that. The last bond payment for that was last year.
Wow.
So it was a 20-year note.
Huh.
But
in fact, one of the teachers just died last week at the Concord High School. That she was there for many years. I don't know. You probably didn't see her death in the paper. Shame on you. Anna Hagstrom. She was my typing teacher.
Really?
She taught typing 1. I don't know about 2, but definitely typing 1. And she was 10. I had her in 10th grade. And ironically, she and her family lived across the street on North Road Street from the high school. She was 95 years old or something. But
wow.
Yeah, she was a teacher for Concord High for many, many years.
Wow.
So in that case, don't they do anything to remember these people by her?
Well, what you usually get is you get families that'll reach out. So when we did the elementary project in the schools that got shuttered, we had reached out to the families that had donated the particular either stones or trees or benches and reprioritized where they would go. Some said, nope, leave it where it is over at Walker School, or if you could remove that or transfer it. And then there was stuff when we did the construction on the old Kimball site, stuff we had to take away and then bring back because the site was under construction. So I started a little project a couple of months ago where I went back and looked at the superintendents of the district. So I'm back to 1885. Which the superintendents have been for the years. So
trying to think who was in the 50s and 60s. It was I can see him because he used to come over to Dame's school once in a while, have his lunch with Mrs. Guyman over there, and he was tall, glasses, sort of baldish hair had there, and I'm trying to think, was it Atherton? No. Atherton for some reason sticks out, but I don't know if that's his name or not, was his name or not.
It doesn't ring a bell.
Oh, I can't think who it is.
We do a show next time, I'll bring my list with me. I have it all in a Google Doc, and I've wrote little notes under each one. I haven't put it all together, but I have a couple little gaps, but I'm pretty solid from 1885 all the way to current.
Do you have any of Runlet's yearbooks on hand anywhere?
I don't know. The only one of the high school, I know we have all those. I don't know about Runlet. I'd have to ask.
Because it'd be like this. So. It was called the Scroll, I believe. And I couldn't afford to buy one, but I said, gee, I wish I could get one of those when I was in 7th and 8th grades. And I don't know where, if they've got anything left anywhere that it would be. You know, so it's called the Scroll.
Yeah, I'll have to find out. I don't know. I do know the high school. And the high school, some of them are online, not through us, but through Ancestry. Because they found a plaque in a closet. They were cleaning out the high school. We have a new head custodian there, and they found a plaque that was dedicated to all those that died in World War II. So I took each of the names and started looking each of them. I did look them all up and found some of the high school pictures from the late 30s of them in front of the steps.
Yeah.
So I think they're looking to rededicate that. They're having it mounted and rededicated. So.
Yeah, my mother graduated in '43 there from Concord High. I got pictures. I got her pictures of the high school and stuff. In fact, I've got her yearbook somewhere.
Yeah.
Of Concord High, 1943.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just, you know, it's odd how things have changed. You know, everything from the classes to the. I mean, I can remember in foreign languages, it was French was the big language, French and Latin, and then all of a sudden German came in. Then Spanish was come in. Then there was, I think, a year they had, well, I won't say Chinese or Japanese, but there was that Asian language there that was there.
Yep.
I don't know what they offer now, but it was odd how French was the big thing. But, you know, it just didn't. Of course, we were talking one day with somebody about teachers, and I talked with one of my former teachers the other day. He's living in Fort Lauderdale. His name is James Reagan, Mr. Regan, and he taught bookkeeping 1 and 2 at Concord High. And trying to figure out how many of them are left living that were there when I was there. And I think Hannah Lacey, she's still living. She married John West, who was an English teacher at Runlet. He died in 2008. But she's still alive over there in Chichester. She's not that old, but in Chichester. So they were, when Copang, he and his wife owned Viking House at one time. He was my homeroom teacher in 10th grade, so he's still around. Jim Blanchard taught, I didn't have him, but he taught English, I think, in 9th grade at Runlet. Remember, because Runlet, at that time, 9th grade was at Runlet. But he's still living. And there's a few more. I think Arthur Clark is in Chichester. He was at Runlet. And, well, Mr. Oh, dear. He owns Caring Gifts. He was a music teacher at Runlet, one of them up there. And I can see him. He wears glasses. I can't now. Now I'm mystified with his name. But he was my teacher on eighth grade music when I was there. But, you know, it just, you go back and reminisce sometimes. I go back and look at the yearbook and just, boy, all things have changed from what it used to be.
I didn't go to school here, so.
No, you had I can tell. I didn't notice it before with you, but I just did today. You come out with a couple words that came with that accent. And if I remember, if I'm right, I think it's the Rhode Island accent.
Oh, no, you got to go further south than that.
Not Connecticut.
No, you got to go further south.
Okay, because some of it sounded like Rhode Island.
No, I'm not Rhode Island.
Delaware?
A little bit more north.
Gotta be Jersey, man.
That's it.
Jersey.
Yeah, I was born in Pennsylvania and I grew up in New Jersey.
Wow.
Then went back to Pennsylvania to go to college, and then came up here in '03.
Yeah, 'cause I met you at the polls. I think it was at 05 or 04 or something like that. When I ran for city council, you were.
Oh, that would have been probably
board.
08. Yeah, because I only lived in town a year.
Really?
When I did that, yeah. We moved here 2 weeks before my son was born in 07. So, yeah. But it's been good. We've been here now almost 11 years.
Wow.
So we've enjoyed it.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
What about the lunch program? Do you still have the ticket for kids to buy a ticket for lunches? Or how do they have
No, they either parents go on and put money on their account. Next year they'll be able to do it through an app, or they go through and they can pay cash, but it's all electronic now. They can swipe their badge.
How much is? Oh boy, how much is lunches now?
$2.50 for lunch at the elementary, $2.75 at the middle school, and $3.50 at the high school.
Wow.
Well, hey, you go in and get a hot chocolate and a Danish at one of the places downtown, and you're looking at $6. So it's a pretty good bargain for what you get.
I guess it is.
But the margins are very tight. They're very tight. That's the challenge.
So it used to be 50 cents for a hot lunch at the junior high or high
50
school.
cents for milk now.
And that was always 10 cents.
Yep.
For a bottle of milk. 10 cents.
Yep.
Boy, that crazy.
So
when do you speak at Concord High graduation or no?
No. That's the superintendent and whoever they have as a guest speaker come. So, nope, not me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay. And I noticed last year, I think they had some tents down there for the kids to sit under, or somebody did.
They do that for the seniors and that want to be closer because of the sun and
it's too hot.
Yeah, and they've been fortunate. Last year was the closest year they've had, and I think this would be the 12th year that they haven't had an inside graduation. It's been quite a long time that they've been fortunate.
Well, when I was there, it was outdoors. But I'm surprised that they have not moved it to the Everett Arena. I really am. I've said that before. I'm surprised that they don't have the graduation inside the arena.
Yeah. Well, if it's nice out, it's great to have it out. It's
yeah.
The question becomes a contingency for rain.
Yeah.
Because the sound system in the auditorium isn't the greatest.
Oh, no.
Or the gym.
No.
And we're trying to get some of that upgraded,
But I don't know why you don't move it to the arena.
I don't know. I don't know if they have events going on, and if it's last minute. I haven't asked about that one.
Well, that'd be a good idea to ask.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity.
Because I know they get busy. They got stuff going on every weekend. The arena.
Well, they got the fair coming up at Apple.
So it could be
about that weekend there is, of course, Father's Day weekend. Is also motorcycle weekend, but generally, I don't think there's much going on there then. But
sure.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem possible. But graduation, and of course, from what I understand too, is that they've kind of. I think you've done a good job, or somebody has a curbing that smoking down there, and the beach balls and.
Yeah, they kind of try to keep that stuff to a minimum.
Well, and we never had that.
No.
They never allowed that.
Yeah.
But if they did,
they sneak them in.
They'd yank them right
in the little ones.
Oh,
they're kids.
They'd yank them right out of there.
Yeah. Well.
You say kids, but they're actually adults.
I know. That's true. Some of them are adults.
And
it's their last hurrah. If that's the worst they do, you know, throwing the ball around, that's okay. The smoking,
But they don't
that needs to.
Yeah.
But
But,
ball,
but they don't realize is that, to me, graduation is a very solemn event.
oh yeah,
Because the days of, when Lulu wrote that song, To Serve With Love, I mean, the days of your are gone.
yeah.
You're not coming back in September.
No, that's it.
No school vacation this year. You're going to be working or going to service or whatever.
Reality hits the next day.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that tells us our next day's done. So, but it's been a pleasure, Jack, having you come on and talk about what's going on with the school district. And always glad to see you and Matt come on here and bring us up to date. So
Great. Thanks for having me.
well, hey, thank you, and we look forward to having you come on again soon. And your new chef or whatever, anybody like that, it's good to have the communication here.
Great.
We've been visiting with Jack Dunn from the Concord School District. If you have any questions or concerns, please give him a call up there, and he'll be more than happy to chat with you about it. And as we getting ready to say goodbye to the class of 2018, gosh, what a day, 2018, and get ready for 2019 in September, August or September there, boy. So with that in mind, thanks to my director, Ian Marx, and we hope you have a great weekend. Get out to the fair and whatever, and get ready for Memorial Day. So I'm your host, Dick Patten.